It's absolutely vital here from
Herschel Gibbs, very solid in the line of off stump in defence. Compact style. The adrenaline will be still pumping. It's gone for it. That's the first boundary of the test match. If the outfield doesn't slow it down, it's going to carry into the rope. That's well played.
Interesting to see what this does to McGrath. Just before he bowled that ball, the captain went trotting across to him, and I'm sure would have been saying to him, we've just got to pitch it up a little more. And the first time he runs in and pitches up a little bit, the sort of thing that you expect to happen is when you're bowling to Gibbs is this. He goes after it, but uppishly played. What he should remember is that quite easy could have gone straight to Gully, who now, by the way, has moved just a little squarer. So the Gully's gone a little squarer. They know he'll have a go at it if it's pitched up outside off stump. That's also the way to get him.
This is a good start by the South Africans. Just taking their time, making the bowlers bowl to them. When you're sent in, you're a little bit nervous. You look for something special out of the pitch. Well played. That's a nice on drive. Gary Kirsten getting that firmly off the meat of the bat. It's going all the way.
Nice shot. That was a great shot. Beautifully played. He's been waiting for something that's been right up there, and well, it eventually came. Took a while, but he certainly punished this one right up there and right in behind that one, straight into that vacant area at mid-on. So Kirsten gets his first boundary away.
That around about from off stump down through mid-on. The bat was a little bit angled, but timed it superbly. Time he drives straight to cover.
That's a good shot. Gibbs is just scrolling down the other end, knowing that it'll reach the rope easily.
They've spent 40 minutes trying to correct their length, talking about what they've got to do, and Glenn McGrath overcorrects here, bowls a half volley. Now the captain won't mind this. It's on the right side of the correction. Just needs to be a touch shorter than that. Have Herschel Gibbs pushing forward further to the contact point. Really well played, McGrath. Good seam. Nothing happening off that seam. Gibbs powerful down the ground.
We were thinking about having a dash at that one, but it was a bit wider.
Well, the weather, the Melbourne weather, cost this test match 20 or 30,000 people by the look of it today. Seems to be coming over again, another squall over the city from the west, the MCG. Got the lot. We've got a slick pitch, we've got lights on, we've got dark conditions, and we've got Brett Lee steaming in. The rain starts to fall now. Can he pick up one before they have to go off?
Eddie Nichols just looked straight at Darryl Hare, and Darryl said, let's get going. And I guess the main reason for that would be they don't want...
Oh, he's got him! He's got him! Third slip. He's been bowling for a deflection into the slip cordon. The first wicket has fallen. Herschel Gibbs out caught in the slip cordon off the bowling of Glenn McGrath, and once again it's Ricky Ponting. That is a very, very safe slip cordon. 5 catches last match and 1 already in this.
Perfect follow-up delivery from Glenn McGrath. Good bouncer. Got it over about middle and off, and a good line-length delivery. Herschel Gibbs, we talked about the light here. It's not great. The lights are on. Unfortunately for him, he gets a good thick edge. Ricky Ponting, who hasn't dropped anything in the last couple of weeks, hangs on to the catch. Gibbs out for 14, 1 for 24.
Hendrik Human Dippenaar is the new batsman. We had Callis down in our batting order, but obviously there's either been a change or it was never correct in the first instance. One way or the other, it doesn't really matter. Dippenaar is out there, and unfortunately for South Africa, Gibbs is back in the pavilion. A beautiful delivery from Glenn McGrath. It was just short of a length, and it moved away off the seam towards the slip cord. Have a look at those slips. They're waiting for anything nicked in their direction. It's pretty dull out there. There goes another bouncer. It's called by the umpire. So No ball called. Righto, let's go back to the wicket. Just watch this ball move off the seam, only marginally, but enough. There she goes, just angling in and nicely taken.
Just keep your eye, you get a chance on the back foot. Herschel Gibbs there doesn't really get across or back, and that's probably brought about by the fact that they just got back out there after the rain. Glenn McGrath's bowling a good bouncer and caught him on the crease with a good follow-up delivery. Glenn McGrath's first delivery to Gibbs was a good short one. Got him hopping around a bit, and he bowled this one here. Just watch that back foot of Gibbs. Goes nowhere. In the air, on the move, good thick edge. Ponting does the rest.
Very, very dull conditions. The lights playing an important part here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. They're very good lights, actually. Nice and straight. Playing that one away down towards Magon. And getting himself off the mark. Well, as we speak, the drizzle is starting to fall again.
He's got him again. Make that 6. Looks like the inside edge onto the stump from a quite sharply lifting delivery.
Well, I just asked the question, how often has McGrath bowled to Kirsten today? That was his 7th delivery in 18 overs. He's around the wicket. A theory they've employed for a long time. Just bounced, dragged the shot. The timing of the shot was wrong because all he could get was the inside edge and bottom edge onto the stumps. Chopped on, nasty for South Africa. 2 for 36 with now Gary Kirsten gone for 10.
Chuck Callis, the new batsman. One of the joys of batting at number 3 is you come in with only 1 wicket down. Number 4, you come in with 2 down. I really am a little surprised that South Africa aren't using Chuck Callis. He's certainly been one of the best number 3s in the business for the last couple of years. From Glenn McGrath, but the appeal was aborted, I think, because there might have been a bit of an inside edge there. It's 2 for 36.
Well, Gibbons was looking for the drives, with an arm, this time he's found the gap. Brett Lee, he's a genius in the field, he's a fine athlete. He enjoys his cricket. This is a wonderful chase and pick up, slide. The line, deep enough, finding the gap. There goes Lee from mid-off. He's like a whippet. Down he goes, straight back to his teammate. Oh, where is it? Safe. Unread, and he's lucky to get away with that. Unless he got it past the short leg square enough to safe. That was a lethal delivery.
It's a wonderful contest. An outstanding bowler. In my view, the best pace bowler in the world at the moment. An outstanding batsman. Fine player, Jacques Callis. And that has stretched him to his limit.
Gets that through the cord as he goes for the drive and he gets 4, but at least he was trying to hit the ball. He got a result. So he picks these up. And he lost 2 wickets. Right. Traction full length. Ties the drive, pick his edge, safe enough. 4 runs.
In the air, over the top. Ooh, that was close. He hit it hard, mind you. It was up and outside off stump, and Buddha Dipanath really had a go at it, and it's disappeared over the top of gully for 4.
This is fair enough, I think, Tony. Bit of width. Probably quite where he intended it to go. He probably wanted to hit that through maybe cover point. The width was there. He went at it hard. Would have been very unlucky if he picked Damien Martin out there just behind point. So, all in all, reasonably safe shot and a good result.
Up into the slot again, definitely trying to pitch the ball a little further up here. There's no doubt about that.
Looks like he might be trying to swing it too, Brett Lee. He's just dropped a little bit of pace. fairly straight on that occasion, but we'll be trying to use this breeze to swing it away from the right-handers. This over's been around the 135 to 140 kilometre an hour bracket, so not overly quick for Brett Lee's turns, but he might just be trying to shake the ball away from these two right-handed batsmen.
And there's the short one, and it went through at 141 kilometres an hour. It's 2 for 55.
Try and give the ball the full face of the bat. Exactly what Dippenaar has done there. Almost hit it too straight, almost cost himself some runs, but just missing leg stump. The bowler's end. Picked up 3.
Oh, what a catch! Oh, that is unbelievable. That is unbelievable. This team takes them. Oh, it's just incredible. Well, we saw Ponting take a gem of a catch in the test match in Adelaide. I've got to say that this may be its equal, possibly just that much better.
Matthew Hayden's the fieldsman. That was once again out of the middle of the bat. And I think you're right, Tony. That's every bit as good, if not better, than the Ricky Ponting one. That was lower. It was almost past him. He took it behind him. Brilliant catch. Matthew Hayden was the man who takes the catch to dismiss Dippenaar for 26. Brett Lee's got his first wicket. South Africa now 3 for 59.
Neil McKenzie is the new batsman. And he's just arrived at the crease as a result of an excellent catch. This Australian team takes some catches, boy. And that does create a problem for the opposition. Uta Dippenaar caught by Hayden off the bowling of Lee for 26, just when he looked as if he was starting to get going. Right, here we go. It's Lee again. It's well played, right in behind it. Oh, and he's dropped it. He's dropped it. Right, oh, well, that spoiled it all for him. We'll give it to Hayden.
Well, that's a sitter. Compared to the last, this is almost a sitter. This is Ricky Ponting, about 4th slip, 5th slip. Once again, he's got a fair way to go. Goes with the one hand. We've almost got 2 on that one. Down it went. Well, that's the problem when you set yourself such high standards. You put one down and all of a sudden everyone thinks it's easy.
So they love their cricket here, and there's been a bit of rain around, and they're expecting more. Good shot, straight down the ground. Hassan straight from Callis. That's 4.
Jacques Callis has been sweating on this one. I think he does do very well. But when the bowler over pitches, he doesn't try to hit the ball too square, which is what Dippenaar does far too often. This occasion, Callis full face the bat, nicely threw mid-off, not opening the blade at all. Nice and straight with full face. Good timing.
Oh, that's 4 as well. Although it's a bit streaky.
Yes, well, it's 4 more. The first 4 of the over, as you talked about, Tony. He does tend to go for runs. That first 4. This one he won't mind too much. He'll annoy him. Annoy him that didn't get a wicket.
This time he has hooked. It's gone high. Chance for Brett Lee. And he got there. I think he was worried about the rope. I think he was concentrating so much on staying away from the rope that he spilled it. Hit him in the chest in the end.
I think one of his feet, that being his right, was outside the rope or on the rope at the time he contacted the ball too. Andy Bickle, his second catch goes down. But I don't think anyone can be blamed. We've given Jacques Callis a wrap, and then he plays a pull shot. Andy Bickle got the height right, and I'm pretty sure if he had have caught that, he would have struggled to stay within that rope.
You see there, he's trying to get in a little bit, get away from the rope, but then the ball carries a little bit further. And I'm sure it was that thought in his mind that he was worried about hitting the rope, which would have meant, even if he caught it, if he was on the rope or over the rope, it would have been a 6. But I'm sure that's what messed him up, his concentration. And in the end, it virtually went right through the hands and hit him in the chest. So it's twice now that Bickle's had Jack Callis missed. Mackenzie hooks, gets it pretty well. I really can't work South Africa out with this batting order. If they're not going to play Jack Callis at 3, this is the man who, in my opinion, should be batting at 3. He's a very good player of the quicks, Neil Mackenzie.
Just leans back on the back foot too. We saw him play a lot of cut shots in Adelaide from the back foot, spin and pace, and then this flip full. Just leans back. The footwork's not really distinct, but the balance is back there. Second ball this over for Brett Lee, goes for 4.
Good player off the back foot as well, Mackenzie. Don't want you to panic. I haven't forgotten your question. I'll get back to it. Yes, Dennis Silly, best quickie I saw. I didn't play against Malcolm Marshall. He was on the tour 79-80, which was my last season. But he looked to be a pretty tough quickie. Shot off the back foot from Jack Callis. Trying to con the batsman into not going for a third. They almost got Jack Callis.
And Neil Mackenzie down at the bowler's end, debating whether he'd come back for 3 or not. He might have been close to a line and he had to just make sure he stepped over it. Here he comes. The calls have been happening. Marto, we've got him. And then he really relied on Callis to find out whether we were going to run for 3 or not.
Very strong in that area. Neil Mackenzie, good back foot player. And as well as playing that forcing shot off the back foot, he plays the pull shot well.
Huge cheers here now. Shane Warne warming up. This is Neil Mackenzie on the back foot. Too short from Brett Lee. If there's going to be any sideways movement, you're not going to use it from that length. Mackenzie, very economical in his footwork and technique. And all of a sudden, the whole splits cordon warming up as Shane Warne does.
That's a bit of a variation on the crowd theme for Merv back in days when you were playing, when Merv used to limber up at third man. Well, the crowd used to go with him. Now it's Warne, his teammate. Callis using his feet well there. He got down very quickly and gave that a huge stump.
And that brings up his 1,000 runs for the calendar year, Jack Callis. 1 of 5 to do that this year. And he gives it the full follow through. Real good control down the wicket and follows through. Goes about 8 rows back.
Just the 6 runs from that over, it's 3 for 89. Well, we've had 40 overs of play here at the MCGs. It's been sporadic. Players on and off the field with showers throughout the day, and we've just had another one hit the ground, fairly heavy shower. There was a bit of a debate going on between umpire Hare and umpire Nichols there for a few minutes, and then they decided to bring the covers out. With great reluctance, Darrell pulled the covers out and says to Neil Mackenzie, you might as well head to the dressing room and stay dry, mate. South Africa at 3 for 89. Callis has remained not out on 22. He was missed twice, both times off the bowling of Andrew Bickle. And Mackenzie has looked as assured as anybody on 14. So play has been abandoned for the first day here at the MCG, with the South Africans on 3 for 89. And Jack Callis on 22, and Neil Mackenzie, 14, will resume batting tomorrow.
Down to 14, Gary Kirsten 10. Berta Dippenaar 26. Jacques Cullis is 22 and Neil Mackenzie 14. 3 for 89.
Attempted Yorker and well played.
That's a beauty to start with. There's no gentle loosener there from Glenn McGrath, right in the block hole.
I think he's looking for a bit of in-swing there. It was perfect length. Mackenzie did well. Played very well in Adelaide, Neil Mackenzie. Good player of pace bowling. Was the best of the bowlers yesterday. Bickle was unlucky. On a spell of 9 overs, none for 14.
It was all pace yesterday, which was understandable with a bit of moisture around on the ground. Nothing much there on the first day for Shane Warne. He bowled just the 1 over, and that figure 6 in the third column came from the most beautiful stroke by Jacques Cullis. He hit him straight down the ground. Lovely, clean hit with good footwork. And that was the end of the day.
Bretley didn't bowl that well in the Adelaide Test. Yesterday, Matthew Hayden made his day. It was a wide outswing delivery, and Dippenaar went for it, looking to the big drive, and Hayden was superb. He was late, judged it to perfection.
That's what I mean by the ball coming pretty much off the face of the bat. When you're in the gully, nothing comes off a fine edge. They're all hard hits. And that would have gone for 4. It's not a bad shot.
That's well played. Good shot off the back foot. Jacques Cullis. He's happy with 2. Yesterday, Cullis was lucky. He's very organised, Mackenzie. He's got a very short back left, as Richie's pointed out. It's going to be hard to bowl. Hasn't got the big flourish.
Well, the short back lift hasn't affected his ability to play attacking strokes at all. We saw some lovely strokes off the back foot in Adelaide. He's a good drive with the ball off the front foot.
Oh, he goes on the leg side, maybe a bit of pad. Put that away, actually, Cullis. He's there to be put away. Leg buys.
Could have been a bit dangerous for Gilchrist. The dive across there almost took him right into the path of it with the right side of his face.
Fended that away. That was a fraction quicker, 139.1. 6 runs off the over. 3 for 97.
And at last, he's got one through the field. That's 29 balls he's taken, and he's hit a 4. A good, solid punch through the offside field, too. That's more like it.
Glenn McGrath looked there when he was walking back as though he was trying to get an outswinger going. In fact, he did get it to swing a little bit, but it was a bit too full. Mackenzie's a very good player of pace bowling. It's good off front and back foot.
Another full toss. And that one away down to fine leg. So 5 runs off that over. It's 3 for 102. That's better. Through the onside field, a nice straight delivery that time. McKenzie has got things moving. That's a long boundary down there. They'll be looking to run 4 and will do it easily.
Yes, even with the rope in, it's still a long way down there. Steve Waugh operating with only 2 men on the onside. That meant that Justin Langer had a lot of territory to cover. The only other man on the onside is Glenn McGrath. He's way down at fine leg.
Not quite off the middle of the bat, but reasonably well placed.
Neil McKenzie has improved his play against spin bowlers. When he first came into the South African side, he used to struggle a bit against the spinners. But you can see there that he scored 44% off the back foot, 32% off the front foot. So he's got every chance of succeeding in Australia.
That's well played. Straight down the ground. Running away, and will it just make it or not? It'll be close. He managed to drag it back. Good fielding.
An excellent chase there from Andrew Bickle. Managed to get a hand on it just before the foot hit the ground. So he saved 1 run. Callis was able to run 3.
Well, he's had a go at that one, and it's gone over the top. If you're going to cut hard. That's what he's done. And McKenzie has picked himself up another boundary. So that's his 4th.
Well, he scores boundaries at they're about 70% of his total runs on this tour, Neil McKenzie. And that was a deliberate shot over the top of the slips. He didn't have any intention of hitting that one to ground. He's hit 4 fours and a 4-all run in this innings.
Well, that's a great shot. Beautifully played down the ground. Just swinging away a little bit. And, well, beautifully into position. And a lovely strike of the ball straight down the ground for 4.
Well, he's showing his versatility in this over. 1 horizontal bat shot for 4, and then a beautiful drive through mid-off. Such a sweet timer of the ball. That's obviously why he hits a lot of boundaries.
Slot again. There's certainly a little bit of swing out there, and it'll be interesting to see if we can pick up exactly what. See, there we are, the shine there. Now let's see what he does. He's holding that. Well, he's definitely holding that for an outswinger. So it's not reverse swing. This is orthodox swing at the moment. We'll do the same down the other end with McGrath bowling, because he too, perhaps even a little more so, getting the ball to swing away. Well, 9 runs of that over. Good one for South Africa. They're starting to move now. 3 for 122.
Good shot. Well, he's finally played the hook shot. Not quite out of the middle. But it will just beat all of them. No, it won't. Brett Lee. He's probably the only fieldsman who could have got a hand on that. Through your chase. Sorry, no, it's Andy Bickle. He is moving well. That looked 4 for all money.
See the ropes come into play. It's a big rope. It's like a hose. Has that wheel touched the tubing for mine it did, and it's the inside of that tubing which is the boundary. So if Andy Bickle's foot comes into contact with that tubing and the hand on the ball, that should be 4, and Darrell Hare's onto that.
That's a nice shot. There'll be 3 or 4 in this as well. Andy Bickle's got the edge. That one didn't swing at all. Made a nice half-volley leg stump. Oh, nice pass the outside edge. Bickle's up. And he's given him. Well, it wasn't a great shout from the slips, and Jacques Kallis looks around at Eddie Nichols. But the ball certainly swung after it went past the bat of Jacques Kallis. But the slips and the keeper were very quiet. Only the bowler appealed, but Eddie Nichols obviously heard something, and Jacques Kallis is on his way.
Heard and saw something. That's the swing the umpire saw. Only one of them has to appeal, and Bickle certainly did that. The slips half appealed. Bickle made a comeback late in that appeal. He gets a bit of luck. Jacques Kallis, unfortunately for South Africa, gone. Caught Gilchrist, bowled Bickle. Short ball got him for 38.
Lance Klusener makes his way to the centre of the MCG. Slightly controversial, I dare say. Average of around about 35, which is not bad, but not a great average against Australia. Lance Klusener. Oh, what a catch! Andy Bickle is now on a hat-trick. He's taken a wonderful return catch. Klusener goes for the big drive. He's been under pressure. He's been out of form. Tries to get away with a drive first ball. It's a big, thick inside edge. But Andy Bickle has taken a scream.
Well, he's hard to stop now. The short ball, Jacques Kallis almost had it organised the over before to McGrath, and now Andy Bickle bustling into the crease again. Klusener, plenty of gaps down the ground, enticed him into the shot. He mistimed it, but Bickle...
Lucky. There's no doubt in my mind that he missed that ball by, as I said, 4 or 5 centimetres. But there was no bad luck with Lance Klusener. That was just a good piece of bowling and a wonderful catch. I think what did probably umpire Eddie Nichols when he gave his decision was the fact the ball swung a long way up and went past the bat. Just watch it here. Swung a long way. Adam Gilchrist has not even appealed. Shane Warne's got his hands up. Andy Bickle's inquiring. Not really a full shout either. But I think that swing has confused Eddie Nichols, and he probably thinks that there's been a deflection there. Certainly confused Jacques Kallis, the decision anyway. He's totally nonplussed. Looks up and finds out he's out, and he thinks, I haven't hit that at all. But the second one was just a great piece of Percy bowling, got it up there, swung it back fractionally. Klusener goes for the big drive, and what a catch. That was going quickly. But now, Andy Bickle finds himself on a hat-trick. Mark Bouch is the man who will face it. He already had 5 hat-tricks at the MCG. Shane Warne was the last one against England way back in 1994-95. Mark Boucher plays it nicely. And actually will get away with probably 2 or 3.
Well, this is a momentum that Bickle could have created yesterday. Ricky Ponting followed up Matthew Hayden's great catch of Jacques Kallis early. He's very hard to stop in this case. Neil McKenzie, the 36 not out. That's an important innings with the partner Mark Boucher now. Sean Pollock, a bit like Lance Klusener, underdone with the bat. Klusener did nothing much wrong there. Bickle was looking to shape it across the left-hander. He had the shiny side on the left going down the pitch. Klusener did well to hit it back to Bickle, who took a magnificent catch. Double wicket, 6 runs off the over, 5 for 134.
Boucher likes to play the pull shot, and on that occasion he's hit it very well.
That was a fine shot, but it was sitting up there and asking to be hit. He's played it well. He's rolled his wrists on it. It's gone straight into the ground and gone very quickly off the bat.
so high it's gone way over Adam Gilchrist's head, and it's going to be classed as a no ball. I think probably because of the height. Don't know why it's not called a wide, but it is a no ball.
Well, there's no way in the world the batsman could have hit that.
That's a very good shot. Neil Mackenzie in very good touch in this series. You'll want to capitalise on this good form and get a century. Once again, that first ball, the problem for Brett Lee. That's actually the South African series. So the most runs coming off his first delivery. And also his lowest average speed first delivery. Boucher generally plays leg spin bowling better than most of the other South Africans. Going to be another 4. No, it's just beaten Gra into the rope. They were going to run 4 anyhow.
A bit like Adelaide, this long boundary here at the MCG, where you used to have to make up your mind if you wanted to let it run into the boundary on the long part of the ground, or take the risk of them running 5.
Always avoid the embarrassment, Rich. Safest option, let it run into the gutter.
Charges, goes to the lofted drive and almost a chance, but he gets 4. That's a well-made 50. Took a chance, he went it warm, lofted the on drive, well played.
Yes, they're playing Warren with a lot of confidence, aren't they, these two? He certainly mishit that one slightly, but he's not having any problems with misreading anything. And that one, I think it's a measure of his confidence down the pitch, but hit him straight over the top, slightly mishit it, and was just a little lucky to get away with it. There we are, just there's a bit of inside edge in that as it went away. About a metre away from it on.
Thomas looked through the wicket though, to run them. They should run 4. And run 4. It doesn't matter if they hit the rope or not.
Here's the drop chance again. It really was hit back quite firmly. Interesting shot, wasn't it? Got one hand to it. Never looked like catching it.
Nicely played. Pulled away, and that'll be 4. That's a very good shot. A full shot. And Boucher, after a let off, playing his natural game. This is a handy partnership. Club that could be 4 more. That's well played. Put him through the line of Shane Warne. It's a good little fight back there by Boucher. Well played.
He's a very aggressive player, Boucher, and this is an example of it. This was tossed up. He took this one actually from just outside off stump and hit it back down the ground past the leg stump to the other side. That was a leg spinner, and it was very well played. Down the ground for 4.
Sweeps. A single. 9 runs off the over. 5-186.
हर रिश्ता है रिश्ता सांसों का भरोसा तुमसे है हमारे हर पल का खुल के जो
He did.
This sort of intent was lacking the South Africans at the start of this morning. Jacques Kallis and Neil Mackenzie allowed a lot of these deliveries to be either hit to the field or miss-hit, but Boucher not that way.
It's in the air, and he's got him. Well, Boucher's tried to lift the run rate. He's also tried to lift Mark Waugh over the top, but all he's done is hit to Andy Bickle, so Mark Waugh has got the breakthrough. And that's, I suppose, what Steve Waugh was hoping for, although he will see it as a bonus.
so similar to the shot that Mark Waugh dropped. Full and wide. Still didn't get the bat flowing through and get enough bat on it to get it over that deep field that Steve Waugh had left, and Andy Bickle loves it. That's a huge wicket for Australia in their bid to keep South Africa under pressure. They're now 6 down for 198.
South African captain Sean Pollock makes his way to the centre. So coming into the match, slightly better form than we saw in Adelaide. Only made 0 and 1 in that first Test match. There's a flipper from Shane Warne. It's off the toe of the bat. Mackenzie will get 2. He's up to 200. I don't know if it was a plan from Mark Waugh or what, but he threw it out wide. It drifted away slightly from Mark Boucher. It really was there to hit. Boucher's trying to go up over, probably extra cover. Did it reasonably well, but straight to Andy Bickle. He's got that one away. He's got it away almost to the boundary. McGrath gives chase, and in the end gives up. Shane Warne throws his head back, but that's the way Sean Pollock's got to play. At his best when he's aggressive. The problem he has with the slower bowlers is he likes to hit the ball and hit it hard. So he goes at the ball hard. That one was in the air for a while. He looks much better playing like that than playing with a hard bat, hard hands, with bat next to pad. That's when he looks in real trouble to me.
Oh, that's got to be close. That's an outswinger. Yes, he's got him. As soon as that hit him on the pad, if you're bowling an outswinger from over the wicket, it straightens down the line, and umpire Nichols had no hesitation. He was half forward, I think, just pushing just ahead of the crease, and that is a big wicket for the Australians.
To the naked eye, that looked as though it was very plumb. You may see a slightly different picture here with the ball pitching just outside, going on as he's not outside the stumps. And that would have gone on, hit about middle and off. And it's the end of Mackenzie's innings, out for 67. A very, very good knock once again. I think he's an extremely talented young player. 7 for 220.
Right, well, the new batsman is out there, Claude Henderson, facing the new ball. Oh, he's got that 5. That's 4. That's raced away off the bat. Well, it'll be interesting to see the angle of his bat, because if it was slightly closed and it was a little bit of a leg glide, it was a great shot. It may, however, have been an edge.
Well, it looked a bit better than an edge. Yeah, well, perhaps a bit edgy, but basically it's a very good stroke. We saw him in Adelaide. I thought he played well there. Played a good innings, plenty of ticker about it. Got him behind the ball.
It's nicely played away, and this is a try at the stumps. That's great. Oh, it's got to be close. It's got to be very close. A direct hit. Well, there'll be nothing in this, I don't think. It's so often. It's Bickle. Boy, did he enjoy that. He'll enjoy it more if he sees that this replay has resulted in the batsman being just short. There'll be nothing in it.
Well, it's Bickle's day. You work on that basis, and the fact that he's saying he reckons he got it, and he's in with a big chance. And it's good afternoon.
Yes, that's unfortunate. The news is about to arrive. The direct hit is absolutely vital. These modern cricketers practice that a lot, and well, probably 2 or 3 inches out of his ground. And it really does make a difference. You hold your catches and you throw the stumps down every now and again. Boy, it makes a big difference to the net result.
I reckon it was a bit of an afterthought that Henderson called for that single.
Yes, well, he's got him easy, isn't he? Direct hit. That's the only way he was going to get him. So Henderson out, run out. It's 8 for 225. Oh, that's over the top. Well, this is a new over. Glenn McGrath And that was a top edge over the top of Gilchrist's head down to the boundary for 4.
I don't think there's too much doubt about Sean Pollock reckoning there's not much batting to stay with him. Going to try to get what he can.
Oh, that's well played. That's beautifully played. Well, I've got to tell you that Pollock, if he gets going, can be a pretty dangerous customer. He plays most of the shots in the book. He's had a little bit of a bad run just lately, and this might be exactly what he needs. Donald is at the crease, and it'll be interesting to see the tactics adopted here by the Australian fast bowlers to Alan Donald. He was quoted in the newspapers as saying that he was going to indulge in a bit of a payback for the way Nanty Hayward was treated in Adelaide. Oh, he's got him. That's it. He's got him. Well, he's out for a duck. Brett Lee celebrates. Alan Donald has been removed for naught. And it's the end of the over, I suppose, and there's one man I think will be quite happy about that. It's the next man in, Nanty Hayward. So where we go again. This is the delivery over the top of middle stump. He really was backing away and easily caught. So out for a duck, 9 for 233.
Very good over there from Brett Lee to remove Alan Donald. 9 for 233, South Africa. That'll go away for 4 leg byes.
Yes, the batsman was attempting to evade the short pitch delivery, so that is deemed to be a shot. That's why it's called for 4 leg byes, even though he wasn't trying to get the bat on it.
He's hit that beautifully. That's going a long, long way. That's well struck.
They picked that up easily. There's a change of pace from Glenn McGrath. Gave him the slower leg cutter, but he picked it early and just hit straight through it. Never mind the fact that mid-off was just inside the rope. Wasn't worried about him.
Well, that's almost run out. I'm not sure that Pollock's home here. Maybe just made it. It was a double play. They missed the stumps. They run a bye. Pollock's enjoying it, so he thinks he's home.
Obviously, that was what their conversation was about. If it is a bouncer and it's over over my head, you run for the bye. Sean Pollock is just home, so they've got the bye, and Sean Pollock will retain the strike.
Now the goal 9 for 248. Yeah, it was an interesting ploy there. They knew the bouncer was coming, and there was a bit of a hesitation as well. The throw was a chance at the keeper's end. Hayward would have been a bit of a strike. It was hit. Here's the ball. Through to Gilchrist, he fires, misses, almost a double play. Good effort by McGrath.
Sean Pollock was late in putting his bat down. He also was a bit late in taking off. Gilchrist was close.
And he struck down the ground. And that's going to be 4. That's well played.
Well, that's good tactics because, as I said before, it's hard for Sean Pollock to get a lot of runs with the field spread. And when Nanty Hayward's on strike, there's really nobody in front of the wicket. So anything that's up there, that's exactly what he should be doing, having a good crack at it.
Oh, he's had a go. That one got it over the top. Well, he may well have been ducking and playing a shot on that occasion as well. It's gone for 4. Nancy Hayward has got a boundary away. Welcome to our Melbourne viewers. You've arrived at an interesting time, just when Nancy Hayward, the South African number 11, has got a boundary away. This is the second day of the Orange Test match. And there is the South African scorecard. We're down to the last man in now. 9 for 273. A good innings from Mackenzie. He made 67. Boucher, 43, was involved in a useful partnership there. Now it's Pollock who's doing most of the damage. But Nancy Hayward, who had that nightmare over in Adelaide, he's got 12. And these two causing a bit of a problem. That's it. That's the sort of delivery we were talking about a little while back. Just short of a length on that line on off stump and just outside. And Andy Bickle again has come to the party. He's ended up holding 19.4 overs and taken 3 for 44. They are the best figures for the Australians. And look at that, so beautifully taken as well. In the slip cordon there by Mark Waugh. So that's the end of the innings. You look at this, he's really very nicely poised, isn't he, as he takes that catch, watches it going away to his right, but makes sure he takes it with 2 hands.
Yeah, the key was it was just a normal delivery. Line and length around that off stump. Hayward not quite behind it, pushes hard at delivery. Doesn't do a hell of a lot, but a good thick outside edge. And look at that, just gets slightly behind him, moves with it, 2 hands. And Andy Bickle finishes up with 3 for 44 from his almost 20 overs.
Right, well, there it is. Top score there is Mackenzie, 67, and a really useful performance there from Pollock, 42, and all out 277.
Well, light drizzle has arrived at the MCG for the start of this Australian innings. The start of the South African innings yesterday was interrupted a couple of times because of rain. This is the first time today we've seen rain. South Africans would probably like it from the point of view that it might just liven the pitch up a little bit, but they won't want it to damage the new ball.
It's just all in the favour of the batsman at the moment. That light rain. It's even lighter than it looks on screen there. All that will do is not get enough onto the pitch. Got 1 or 2 hits in the outfield with a greasy surface. And Alan Donald will be working overtime on that ball to keep the seam dry and the sides dry and shineable. The Australians struggled yesterday with that very problem.
Good start from Justin Langer. That's an area where he's really improved his play, driving through the offside.
The Australians got the ball swinging in their innings, so Alan Donald's giving it every chance here. Didn't quite work for him. But Langer, that's where he has tempted attacks all summer to bowl across him. And this year, he's got his timing perfect. The gap has always been left for him, and he's pierced it and found it every time.
Straight this time, and hit much better. Right out of the middle.
Overpitched. The ball was bowled to the batsman's footwork. Nothing much required.
Oh, beautiful strike down the ground. That's a grand way to start your innings. Absolutely no effort at all there from Matthew Hayden. Just leant on that one right out of the middle of the bat. That's well hit. beautifully rolled the wrists on that one. Didn't try and hit it hard at all, Matthew Hayden. Just timed it.
Must get it high. Only 130 k's an hour, so it's just got to be up higher, just about the badge of his helmet, so that he loses some of that brilliant control he put into that shot. Just stood up and crunched it 4 to square.
Langer really is driving beautifully. What a horrible message note is that.
Well, it was such an enthusiastic effort which ended in disaster. Could be worse too. Could be an injury involved. His chase was good and the slide was monumental. Just peaked a bit early.
Once again, that cover drive from Justin Langer. And again, Alan Donald was well short of that front line. Well, he's hit that one easily. Once again, right off the middle of the bat.
Replica of the last one he played. Stand up with great composure and then the power to come. Very simple. Short, sharp backlift, snap it through. Very much like Neil Mackenzie in the first innings. Very simple, but how effective.
Another no ball. And the more runs down to the third man area. Probably just drag that one back. Gibbs very good and very fast in the field. Over the wicket, and there goes that full shot again. More runs. Didn't quite get that one in the middle of the bat, but this is very good running. And Hayden very quickly to touch down and get back for the third, and that brings up the 50 partnership.
That's pretty good going. We're only into the 11th over. Both these batsmen have played safe shots. Donald beat Langer on the full shot once. But both Langer and Hayden have done very well again.
It's too short, and he's a good player. I'm not sure why they're bowling chest high advantage to Matthew Hayden. He's one of the best backward players in the world at the moment. He's got his extreme confidence. He's a tall man. And he's swatted that away before. The key to Matthew Hayden's game is he's not trying to hit the ball too hard. He's just punching the ball. He's such a strong man. He's got a huge follow through there. Very strong arms. Very strong bottom hand grip on the bat. Top hand's quite a fair way around. He just punches the ball with that bottom hand. He gets somewhere near the middle with that sort of swing and that sort of build that he has. He gets boundaries very easily. 1,272 runs this year and an average of 60 for Matthew Hayden. It's been a golden year. Through again, we're talking about the drive. It's beautifully timed here, the crack of the willow and the weather. They may get 3 because Lance Kluseman, he's a little bit slow on the field these days. They didn't take him on this occasion. Kluseman might have to do some work with the ball here as well. And this sort of delivery, you can bowl Justin Langer prior to this year and get away with it. You can either defend it or let it go through. Now, he's getting full stride in, playing his drive. Only gets 2 on this occasion. But what it does, it then forces the bowler to bowl elsewhere and start bowling short and cuts and pulls where he's very strong. Coming from the Perth ground, the Wacker ground in Perth. Plays his square the wicket shots very well, but
Anti-Hayward Richie, because he didn't slide that time.
Very wise. And you never know, the message might have got through to does no good to dig up the turf on any ground because you just lay yourself open to injury. Been a tough day for Nandy, but he came through with the bat. Didn't back away, made 14, put on 44 with Pollock.
That man is staying at short mid-on for Langer as well as Hayden.
Good morning to the Melbourne Cricket Ground, the third day's play of the second Orange Test match. Australia well placed it. Immediately, Langer's away. Langer's 68. Hayden's on 55. It's a wonderful combination, the two left-handers.
Tremendous combination. It's the fourth time that these two have reached the 100 partnership milestone in only 8 innings. So that's a fantastic performance.
Fine, they'll go for 4. So the run's flowing really once again.
That's very nicely played. In fact, leg bias given. It must have come off the thigh pad. That's the reason it went so fine. Let's see if we can pick up what happened here. Callis is trying to get it to move away. And just off the thigh pad there, the fine leg quite square, running away down to the fence for 4 leg buys.
Oh, that's beautifully played. Straight on the middle leg again, and Hayden punches it through mid-wicket. Right off the middle of the bat, they run 3. 5 off the over. Australians have had a good solid start once again. 139 for no wicket. He's gone for, oh, what a tremendous stroke. He's one of the best players in the spin bowling we've seen for a long time. A tremendous sweeper, he hits you down the ground, a lot of boundaries.
He did it to the Indians in fine style, and he's dishing it out to the South Africans here as well. And a worried look on the face of the South African captain, and why wouldn't there be? He plays this sweep shot at all angles. He plays it from almost mid-wicket around to fine leg. Very solid.
You can't get outside the line of off stump to him. That foolish one, because he'll sweep from out there. This time he charges and almost beaten in flight. That's well bowled by Corey Henderson. He threw it up again. He had the courage to throw it up. Hayden made the charge. There was some pad. Bat pad had half a chance for a run out. It's all happening.
Oh, I love the way this guy plays. He's always looking to take the initiative. If you're a young batsman watching Matthew Hayden batting, it's absolutely fantastic, his approach to the whole thing. He doesn't want anyone to dominate him. He has that philosophy which will stand him in good stead. He's having a great time.
Sweeps again. I'll tell you what, though, I reckon that throw had hit the stumps from short leg. He could have well been run out. Here he goes. He's a long way down. Hit the stumps, boy. Hit the stumps. Safe. The throw wasn't strong enough. There he goes again. The loose ball goes away. The outfield fastest today may make the Rats the long bound. They should run 4 easily. So another 150 run partnership by Langer and Hayden.
Yes, the odd bad ball, and just too many. He didn't enjoy that, Callis, that's for sure. I don't know what he was trying to do here. But you watch his reaction. He bowls it really short outside off stump, and it's whacked away. Down he goes, and the ball disappears. I think that's just a bit of frustration. It was a run rate of
Coming left arm around the wicket to a left-hander has very little to recommend it. That's nice, strong blow and beautiful footwork from Matthew Hayden.
Well, this will bring a change soon anyway. Gives himself a little bit of room and hammers it down the ground. I thought for 1 minute.
100 for Matthew Hayden, his 5th in 2001.
And as you'd expect, very excited. Matthew Hayden as well. High five. Justin Langer, his batting partner, as they cross for that second run. And they come together. Shake of the hand. Still hasn't acknowledged the change rooms yet. He's acknowledged the crowd down at the old Bay 13. Acknowledged it with his partner. Not much to the change rooms. It's 4, almost. Wasn't quite off the meat of the bat. Don't go for 4, they'll run 3. It was in the air, I think, just for a moment. But Donald thought that was going to go to one of the fieldsmen at backward point or the gully. Maybe it just stood up on Matthew Hayden a fraction. Here's a look at the pitch. And a word to his partner as well. Donald stood up a bit high and away. Goes away for 3 runs. Hasn't bowled a lot of luck this morning. Alan Donald has beat 1 or 2 outside edges. This time it beats the fieldsman. Oh, good shot. Full face to the bat from Justin Langer. Brings up the 200. What a magnificent partnership this is. It goes for 4. They'll get a wonderful ovation.
They deserve it. It's wonderful to be a spectator in a situation like this where you have batsmen attacking in this manner. The whole team does, but these 2 openers, they're playing correctly, and yet they're attacking all the time. Another double 100 partnership for Hayden and Langer. A very significant thing for Hayden today, I thought, when he made 100 against South Africa. Very significant.
It's gone, and I was just going to say, way back in 1963-64, in Redpath on debut was 87 and the 1 for 202, and he held out. It was bowled by Joe Partridge. This time Langer goes for a hook shot. Donald breaks through, and all of a sudden it's 1 for 202. History repeats itself at the MCG.
And a little bit of relaxing, perhaps. The congratulations of having got the double century partnership. They've done a terrific job again at the start for Australia. Didn't play it all that badly. He rolled his wrists on it, but didn't keep it down quite enough. And Donald has the breakthrough for South Africa, 1 for 202.
Ricky Ponting at number 3. What a time to come in. 1 for 202, Australia. Well driven, and 4. And mid-off, very, very sluggish. The new batsman at the crease. It's a nice off drive, but it shouldn't happen. 1 for 206.
Well, it was the double bluff. They put 2 men back for the pull shot, and Donald ran in, bowled the Yorker, but got it just a little bit too far up. Turned it into a full toss. Didn't need any of the extravagant from Ricky Ponting to get off the mark with a very good boundary.
Lofted shot. It's a good stroke, but that wouldn't worry Henson all that much to a new batsman. 1 for 219.
He'll have to go. That's a measure of a good run in between the wickets. Hayden is. He's in there comfortably, even though it was going just fractionally wide of the fielder at cover.
Ian Chappell's already pointed out, this is not the best South African fielding side we've seen. Even this occasion here, he's probably going to make it, but he doesn't pick up the ball. There's no sign of Hayden. He's in with half a chance, isn't he? But you must pick up the ball first.
The pressure on the fielder there, Porter Dippenaar. He wasn't quite up to the pace. As I was saying a little earlier, it's a very significant day for Matthew Hayden. In the scorebook, it'll show it 100. But from what he does, you can gather that it is significant for him as well. Making 100 against South Africa, almost a high five there, or a high neck chop, with Justin Langer on the way through. Then his own congratulations and thanks, and a different style.
It's a late cut in against Hayward. Not quite off the meat of the bat, but he'll pick up 2.
He's done the high five, Matthew Hayden. Then he's celebrated with Bay 13. He's given a thank or two. And then a completely different style congratulations between that pair, Langer and Hayden. Before it was arms around one another and grabbing and clutching. This was a straightforward congratulations. Very well done for Australia.
Good shot. Off the back foot, he's a very good back foot player. And superbly timed. He'll pick up 3.
Cummings reached 10. I'd have thought a better idea at this stage of the match, having just taken a wicket for Henderson, would be to keep his field in, give Ponting the opportunity to hit down the ground if he wants to dance down, rather than that, pushing it through and bowling short.
Quicker one to Hayden, he still picks up a single.
There's another example of what you're talking about, Bill, with the fielding. A good fieldsman, and yet under the pressure, there's no Johnny Rhodes in the side. Now, Mark Taylor was pointing out a little earlier that they've got different slip fielders, so they've undergone a change in their fielding structure.
Johnny Rhodes will come over to the One-Day Internationals and make a big difference. They're enthusiastic young guys. Probably back a bit of experience, big occasion, good crowd here at the MCG, big ground. That's a glorious cover drive. Good use of the feet by Reggie Ponting. May not make the rope. They run 3. So Ponting straight away on the attack. He's moved quickly to 16. Off 16 deliveries faced.
Slow bowler's got to keep his wits about him.
Oh, let me say, you asked the question for LBW here. What's what the call is? Leg by. This will be an interesting one. Maybe pitched outside line of leg stump, but it stayed down a fraction. Raced away for 4 leg buys. Andy says that pitch outside leg. And it did. And it was going to miss off stump anyway.
Well, again, it was too quick for the batsman. That's 150 Ks, and it's got through Hayden's defence before he's had a chance to get his bat down. So that's 2 this over, 1 to Ponting and 1 to Hayden. Too quick for them.
Oh, there's a blistering drive through the outside field. Ponting letting loose. That, well, did he put a hand down? No round 4 anyhow, so it does not matter.
Hayden sucking in the big ones now. There's 7 20-metre sprints he's just done. A set of 4 and a set of 3. Ponting. He had a trial run a couple of balls before and missed, and this time doesn't. Dippenaar couldn't do anything about it, no round 4. Good effort by Donald. To no avail.
That's a great shot. right off the middle of the bat, backward point, 1,000 test runs in Australia. And that one whistled away to the fence for 4. 1 for 2. Always hit that one over the top, and that's it. One bounce into the fence for 4. Matthew Hayden has become the most prolific scorers of runs in the history, in one calendar year, in the history of Australian cricket. So he has scored more runs now in the calendar year than has ever been scored before by any Australian batsman. That's a pretty stout effort.
Classy shot to do it too. He'd sliced a couple of those, and even last over, Klusner got to one before the rope, but that one not as sliced and crunched flat.
That's gone straight over the top. I think that he might have got a little bit of something on that. It obviously deflected off either his crash helmet or his shoulder.
.148 Ks. So his first ball this over was really put in. Last over bowled within himself. He's going to have one last dash. It's missed everything. Possibly arm, shoulder, in the umpire's view. Voucher. Fortunate that it wasn't. Just a little top edge, a little feather through to him because he couldn't get to it.
That's out. It's hit the gloves. Yes, I'm sure he's gone. That was a very, very quick delivery. And what a ball from Nandy Hayward. And that really did surprise Ponting. He wasn't trying to play a hook shot. He normally does. Well, he looks a little bit almost as if he's shocked by this. Let's have another look.
But don't worry about getting to lunch. Nandy Hayward's produced a beauty. He's got it right. Up and over. Short ball. He's surprised Ponting 3 times with deliveries like that. That one takes the gloves. At least they can go to lunch now. A couple of deliveries early, or one delivery early, with a little bit of success under their belts. And now let's see if we can refocus what we're going to try and do, because Australia just 10 runs behind us. Matthew Hayden, 138, not out.
He's over. He's bowled 3 overs, 3 balls in this over. Well, that's down to mid-on. It should be out, and it is. Caught in the deep by Alan Donald. Well, that is exactly what South Africa need. Matthew Hayden has attacked only the second ball from Claude Henderson. Looked like he was trying to hit him back over the bowler's head. Pulled it around, and Alan Donald took a comfortable catch down at long on.
That's exactly how Hayden was out in the 90s at Bellerive, beaten in the flight by Vittori, and it finished up in almost an identical sort of position, wide mid-on, and he's gone for a magnificent 138.
Australian captain Steve Waugh joins his brother out in the middle, both on naught as well. Really, if South Africa are going to get back in the match, now is the time they must strike again. Well, nice shot. Beautiful time. This could go for 4 and will go for 4. That is a marvellous piece of timing. Nandy Hayward just straying onto the hip of Mark Waugh. Picked that off beautifully.
Tell you what, Nandy Hayward's not too thrilled with his fine leg, and he's got good reason. Alan Donald was watching that. I think he expected the man at backward square leg to chase it. It was only once the ball had gone well past the backward square leg fielder that Alan Donald decided to take off. By then it was too late.
It's in the air, but it's safe. It's through about third slip. Steve Waugh has shown his intention. He's going to play some shots. On that occasion, he got a bit of luck with it as well.
Not an easy shot to play off the back foot. Once the ball gets above waist height, that forcing shot is not such an easy one to play. Probably easier to play the horizontal bat shot, which Steve Waugh is now practicing. Easier to play the square cut rather than that forcing shot. Once the ball gets up above waist height. That's why Steve Waugh is so effective in England off the back foot, because the ball doesn't bounce quite as high.
time he goes through point. That was where he intended the first one to go. This time he plays it right for the same result.
Well, this is obviously the plan that Steve Waugh has come up with, realising that he's got to score against the short pitch stuff. And he will continue to score if Andy Hayward has that line outside off stump.
Or in there somewhere, but that one's gone over the top. That'll be the third boundary from the over. The two of them off the outside edge, so no luck for Hayward. Steve Waugh races on to 14, 3 for 286. That's the big slog sweep. And lands just inside the rope. Couple of bounces. Fielded by one of the 12th men running, cruising around the ground. 3 for 294. Shot. Just a bit of blip for Mark Waugh, but he's screamed that through point. Wonderful way to finish the over and bring up the 300. Australia 3 for 302.
Well done. Beautifully cut. That was a wonderfully executed horizontal bat stroke. Just backward a point, whistled away for 4.
They're not choking down just because they've lost quick wickets. Ponting and Hayden going within a few balls of one another. I'm still of the opinion.
Basu just discovered the smooth ride of their new TVS Victor.
That's what happens if you get too short and too wide. Very good cutter. I'll pick up 3 more. It's already a very good partnership. That's 3 for 337. Cracking shot, that's his best shot, Mark Waugh. If you fire wide, he'll put you away. 4,000 runs, Australia for Mark Waugh. Very consistent middle order batsman. We talk about his pads, but he's very strong out here as well. Give him some width, he'll put you away. Perfect balance, plenty of time. Crowd loved it. Good crowd in. He's gone over the top. Steve Waugh, he gets that for 4. And you have to do these sort of things when you're in strike. A short pitch delivery, and that was a good shot. Not a great delivery because it's not quick enough.
He kept his feet, Steve Waugh. Didn't go with the ball this time. Stayed on the ground and swayed back. Just waited and got the middle of the bat on it. Dangerous for the fielding side. That man doesn't want to see that.
It's good running as well. Single there, missed field. Well, I think they're a little bit down because of that drop catch. They know they should have had Stephen Waugh. They have to apply the pressure all the time here. The lead's increasing, 7 wickets in hand. Got him! That's the wicket they needed, and Donald does it. This is a beautiful spell of bowling. Comeback kids in business at the MCG. He's knocked over Mark Waugh. That's a big wicket. Even though they're in trouble, they needed to break this partnership.
It's taken 2 drop catches to fire him up, but Donald has caused Mark Waugh problems for the last half an hour. His footwork has been very sluggish, expecting short balls from Donald. This one pitched up, flicks the pad, goes on to leg and middle. The same shot as he played with Sean Pollock the over before. Donald splits them. The Wars are split, 4 for 348.
Get rid of Mark Waugh, you get one of the best batsmen in the Australian team in my mind. Best score in the previous test, 124 not out. A beautiful player, attacking player, good defensive player.
Lovely shot. Just a flick of the wrist. A long chase for Claude Henderson. scores in that 50 for Steve Waugh. Hasn't been one of his most convincing, but typical of Steve Waugh, he is a survivor. Too much on the pads from Alan Donald. Australia 4 for 355. Alan Donald hasn't seen that at all. He was sort of waving his arms around saying, "Where's it gone?" Well, it was a long way from him.
Yes, Nandy Hayward there is trying to get the attention of his captain and asking for a man back on the onside. Now, there's an example of where really he needs simply to be told, look, that is just not the place to bowl. The Waugh brothers love it in that area. Most Australians love it when it's straight. So what he's got to do is really move his line across to the offside a bit.
4 for 364. Over the top of the slips. That's where he likes them, outside off stump. And that's where he scored a lot of runs off the short pitch delivery.
There's absolutely no point in Callis looking a little bit surprised there, because he plays that shot pretty well, and everyone knows that the place to bowl the short ones at him, if you're going to bowl them, is straight. Give him room like that, and it's just another 4 in the scorebook. That's where the discipline is required. That's where you've got to do your homework a little bit, and that's where you've got to implement what you know. This is turning out to be a really lousy day for South Africa.
I think a bit of anger has taken over with Jacques Kallis. He really just charged in there and tried to thump that in as quick as he could without any thought to direction. I think that's the important thing with Steve Waugh, that you make them well directed, these short pitch deliveries. Not wild and woolly, like the last couple from Jacques Kallis. Score for 375, the lead now up to 98.
Steve Waugh gets one through the slips again. He's racing way towards the rope. Frustration again, this time for Kallis. That's Steve Waugh. 1,000 runs now against South Africa. Frustration continues. It's got to start the South Africa or after the tea break. A little bit of movement away in the air for Kallis there. Good healthy edge. Once again wide of the fieldsman. So South Africa bowling to Steve Waugh, creating a few, I suppose you'd call them half chances. And at the moment, they're either not going to hand, or when they do, they're tough. And the 2 of them have gone down. Steve Waugh now racing on to 69, and Australia's lead now over 100. Oops, almost inside edge, then the return. That's the line, better off stump. Just short of a good length. Steve Waugh was looking to punch that down the ground. Very courageous cricketer, not in good form. Inside edge of the bat there. In that 69, he's hit 10 fours. Another edge, this time it's in front of second slip. Not carrying, well stopped. Sean Pollock there geeing up his bowler. Well, what he should be saying is, let's keep it there, because what South Africa haven't done is bowl enough balls right there. That's perfect. It's got the edge. Steve Waugh's played it with soft enough hands to keep it down, but it's also one of those half chances I was just talking about. They haven't bowled consistently enough. There hasn't been enough balls in that area. They've tried bouncing Steve Waugh out, and they've tried a couple of wide ones outside off stump. Why not have an over there? Let's have an over or 2 in that spot, and then let's bowl the odd bouncer, maybe 1 every 2 or 3 overs, but not 2 or 3 and over.
You're spot on, Mark, because what they've done, they've dropped short, and he's hammered them over the keeper's head 2 or 3 occasions when they got wide. They've got boundaries, a lot of boundaries down that region, somewhere through the slips, with a couple are right over the top. The slip cord, very little in front of the wicket straight. Then he gets on the leg stump and gives him runs off the final delivery. That's what Mark was talking about. The pressure's off Mark Taylor. The pressure's off. It's 4 for 381. And that's a good shot. That's where he's very, very good, Damien Martin. Very good backfoot player. And like the previous over, he didn't try to hit that too hard. Dallas, of course, only 131.8. Big difference.
That's exactly how Damien Martin played in Adelaide only a week or so ago. Nice and compact. Like in Adelaide, he's not trying to hit the ball too hard, just placing it in the gap. He's not trying to hit a boundary. Just pick the gap, get it in the middle of the bat, pick up your 2s and your 3s, wait for the loose delivery for your boundary.
This time he cuts. That's superbly timed. He waited for it, as all the great cutters do. And he hammered it behind point before. That was too short, too wide.
Once again, superbly put away by Martin. There's the width. Not too hard. Just find the gap, find the middle of the bat. That's good enough to get you a boundary. Nice balance with him at the end of his shot there. The head's still. He's not falling off the ball. Just finding the middle of the bat.
Two slips and 2 gullies in, a point cover mid-off on the offside. Tommy's driven forward a point. That's even a better shot. That's a square drive, a genuine half volley. Dallas doesn't know where to bowl now to Damien Martin. If he dropped short, he's just able to hook him as well. Beautiful batting.
I'm not really sure why Jacques Kallis is standing in the middle of the wicket with his hands on his hips. A half volley, a little bit of width. Once again, Damien Martin, that is how to play those offside shots. Saw the back cut the ball before. That's the front foot square drive. Both perfectly executed.
Four for 394. Runs. Cracker Willow there was magnificent.
About Steve Ward's best shot, that one. That's not a bad delivery from Hayward. That's about what we're talking about for Steve Ward. About the right line and right length. It's a good shot. A bit full up. Steve Ward on the back foot. And that's just a good shot. Timing and placement.
That's where you want him. Want the ball just to do a little bit. That's well played. Comes up to 400 for 4.
Australia, and that run rate now up to 3.76. 400 is coming up at a good rate, which once again is giving Australia plenty of time left in the match. The bowl South Africa out again. Already the lead's 123.
Well, that's a very good shot. And he's just eased that one through the offside field, and it'll run away to the boundary, and nicely picked up by Natty Hayward. It's just on the subject of enthusiasm. It wasn't long ago when Mackenzie, we talk about enthusiasm in the field. Oh, well played. Boy, is he such a lovely timer of the ball. Didn't really try and hit that too hard, but it certainly went through the field without any trouble at all. So the end of another over, 4 for 417. Oh, there's the cut again. Plenty of runs through that area. It's a long, long boundary.
His favourite side of the ground, Damien Martin, probably his favourite shot. Just lays back on it.
It's hit that one. That's the shot that he goes for every now and again. Some call it a slog sweep. I'm sure there's a better word for it. But it's very effective.
The reason why I was able to put yellow numbers on one side of the wickets because there's no one out there. Look at that gap. So it makes the slog sweep a lot easier. If you do miss it, you'll still get 4. You'll probably be able to run 4. Claude Henderson just put it straight on the right spot for Steve Waugh. Not to bother about having to pierce an offside field. 890, sorry. Cost 2,700. What could he have had? Run out.
Oh, he's just going to be out, run out. He's hit the stumps. He's out, run out in the 90s. He's gone out, run out in the 90s, given out, and that is a tragedy from Steve Waugh's point of view. He's got his head down. He's waiting for the replay. Forget it, Steve. You've been given out. He doesn't know, actually. He's got to get a tap on the shoulder here. Sorry, mate. It's all over. He's still not going. I thought the umpire put his finger up there. He's told him again, and well, he's now leaving. Run out in the 90s, and I think getting a little bit of a send-off there as well. The South African players nearby there. That is a good direct hit. Have a look at this. It was played by Martin, who called Steve Waugh. Well, that's well fielded. Direct hit there, way out of his ground. I think it was a direct hit, and up goes the finger. Steve Waugh facing the other way. Didn't see that. Run out for 90. It's 5 for 429. So Adam Gilchrist is the new batsman.
Damien Martin can play the sweep. Claude Henderson gets a full one. We saw Steve Waugh play the slog sweep. That one's all the way along the carpet, just behind square. Angling into leg, middle and leg. And Martin can play this shot. Not as competent as Steve Waugh with the straight bat shots from leg stump, but the sweep, no problems. At this stage, Claude Henderson's got no protection down there.
Placement is perfect from Gilchrist.
Well, the chilling point if you're in the field with Gilchrist coming in is when he takes 19 balls to make 4. He's just playing himself in. Sometimes he goes out there and goes bang straight away. And that was beautifully timed. But Henderson has almost hit it. With that delivery, it's landed just a matter of a few centimetres away from it. Gilchrist is still able to get down the track to it.
That brings up the 450 for Australia. It was almost the same delivery that he hit through the offside.
Oh, great shot. Gets onto the front foot. He times the ball absolutely impeccably. It's run away down towards the boundary for a 4. One gets the feeling with this crowd of look forward to seeing Gilchrist come to the crease here. He's a wonderful batsman to watch as well. And between he and Martin, there could be some fun and games here this evening. Well, he's got it. It looked as if it popped out there for a second, and they've caught one. I've got to tell you that there have been a few frustrating times out there in respect of catches, but this one actually went quickly. The slip's wide there. Just watch it go, and taken. A pretty good catch there, and you can see the reaction of the keeper, Boucher. So Callis has taken the catch. Martin, who's played in this once or twice outside that off stump, is out now as well. He'll be a bit disappointed there. He was set really for a century here, going pretty well. But Pollock has managed to get a wicket at last. Out to 452, and it's now 6 for 462. Shane Warner's the new batsman. We've heard a lot of talk just lately from the fast bowlers and read in the press about how these fast men are going to get stuck into each other. I suppose Shane Warne does fall into the tail end category, although I haven't seen any statements from him. Oh, and that's in the air. That's the end of Warne. Don't want to waste any time with the tail enders. Get into them. So a short one there from Donald. He said he would, didn't he? He said he'd get stuck into them. He's taken one ball to get rid of Shane Warne. It'll be interesting to see how many he takes to get rid of the rest of them.
Well, Shane Warne was taking up the challenge, there's no doubt about it. It's short, I suppose it was there to hook, but I'm so sure it's the right shot to play when you've only faced one delivery prior to that one. Bobbed it up off the stickers, really, straight to Gary Kirsten. Comfortable catch. Donald's got his third wicket. Shane Warne departs for a quick fire one.
And he's got him. Joy for Andy Hayward, slashing away, well caught in the gully. McKenzie takes the catch. That's a good effort. Good sustained pace. Picks up the wicket, was 140 k's. Lee goes. It's in the air. Keeper's got him. Another wicket for Pollock. Tail not wagging here at the MCG. Still a big total, but a good session for South Africa. The game not getting completely away from him.
Oh, well, they've got a foot in the door, I guess. Andy Bickle was tentative with the one. He glided through slips and he just couldn't get underneath that one. Sean Pollock drew a shot out of him and it was a false shot. Top edge. Boucher takes a catch. It's 9 from 475.
Oh, there it goes. That's a big long hit. That may go all the way. It's a big hit. It's 4. This time he's got it away. It's 4 more. Hayward short. Not high enough. A full shot. Crowd loving it.
It's poor bowling. I think he's been put off by this extra last over. Gave him a practice run the ball before. Now he puts it in the right spot for him. And Andy Hayward's not happy. Gave him 2 practice runs at the slow ball down the ground too, and he finally got the third. Then the second full shot was on. Man had come up. The gap was there. The risk was low. And Gilchrist steals 4.
Over bowled. This time it's definitely stumps. 9 for 487. Another batsman, Gilchrist 30. Gray at the score. 138 overs bowled. 9 for 487.
And there she goes. Just didn't think you got a finger on that one, but boy, you've got to be a little lucky when there's so many people in the slip cordon to get it into one of those gaps. Well, that's nicely played. He's strong on his legs. That's running away down towards the mid-wicket boundary. I think it's probably going to get there, actually. That's a very, very good shot. Kirsten's first boundary.
Well, seeing the benefits of turning the strike over, getting themselves going. The last ball of McGrath's over. Herschel Gibbs called Gary Kirsten for a great single. And then he gets one on his legs.
यही तो एलजी की प्रेरणा है भरोसा तुमसे है
Jacques Kallis. Let's hope he can capitalise on what he started in the first innings and get over that poor decision he copped in his 56th test, averaging 48.02.
Canal lashing out there. Obviously, South African plan to be a bit more aggressive in this innings.
Well, I think it's a good plan. I think what South Africa didn't do enough in the first innings was attack. They sat back and waited far too long in that first innings. The only problem that they're having is that when they're attacking the majority of the time behind point.
Excellent shot. Used his feet beautifully and got to that on the full.
It's a real loosener for Shane Warne. They're a nice, juicy, full toss, and good players like Jacques Kallis put these away, and they should be put away as well. Slipped out the front of the hand, that one, and got what deserved. South African 50 comes up. The sweep shot from Callis. And Shane Warne, just that last delivery, just finally a little bit slower. Just tossing the ball up a little bit more.
Bowlers can never understand how batsmen can do that. It's pretty well pitched leg break. Found out middle and leg, spun away. He still got in the middle of the bat and hit it away through mid.
I think a little bit of excitement was generated as a result of him flicking it past the forward short leg. That would have been a miracle catch. Shane Warne doing his best here to get some spin out of this pitch.
Not all that far away. There was a bit of a lunging forward movement there.
Yes, the question is, did it hit him just outside the line? We've already seen one hit just outside the line. If it didn't, the other thing it could have been doing is going down the leg side. So there he is, comes forward. Oh, no, the third scenario, of course, is bounced a little bit too much. I think probably a little bit inclined to leg and a little bit too much bounce.
A wonderful stroke. Jacques Kallis has picked the flipper. It might have gone past that man at short cover. Fractionally in the air, but it was timed magnificently.
Yes, I think it was in the air, and that's why the wicketkeeper got a little excited. It was a flipper, played away in the air, one-handed at the end of the day, just wide of Steve Waugh, went diving away to his left. Just watch it from sideways on. There she goes. You can see that he didn't exactly read it.
Ah, lovely shot. That is a very good stroke. He didn't thrash at it, he just leant into the stroke. Beautifully timed.
Yes, Buddha Dippenaar playing a very elegant cover drive.
Raw, but there's no movement from Eddie Nichols. Not even a twitch of an eyebrow, let alone a finger.
Righto, well, Callis out there, this is what we were talking about. There was, I think that he hit his leg, actually. There was certainly a noise there. Just watch the bat coming into the pad. It goes into his pad just there, and that was definitely a noise. There's just a possibility it would hit the bat as well. But he just stood there, Callis, made the umpire make the decision.
Probing. He's got him, what a catch! That's a gem of a catch at short leg. He hit that right off the meat of the bat. It went straight to short leg and he held on to it. Hayden, what a match he's having. First in the gully, now at that pad, he takes a ripper.
Well, Dippenaar must think, what am I doing? What have I done to deserve this? 3 absolute screamers. He's been victim to. Matthew Hayden's hit him right in the stomach, the armpit, the arm, and stuck. Dippenaar, good shot. Just made one error. Hit a little too straight. It was Dippenaar himself who put 2 down from short leg. Shane Warne breaks through. Ball to Dippenaar. Gone for 23. It's 3 for 74.
The uniform Neil McKenzie comes to the crease. Unfortunate wicket that for South Africa. Bhuta Dippenaar was playing well. McKenzie's been the star with about 67 in the first innings, 87 at the Adelaide Oval. Needs a big 100 to really give him an enormous amount of confidence when they go to Sydney here. Down the wicket. Well fielded at short cover. That's Ponting. That's the difference between the two sides. We've been talking about it in Adelaide and here in Melbourne. That was at Silly Point Ponting. It could have been a wrong one. He feels it, he puts the batsman under pressure just there. McKenzie gets back, okay.
That's a good shot. That's a glorious off drive. There was great what he used to the feet. It was cool. We just rendered the off drive, almost a defensive push, as we see at the Wacker. Beautifully played, Jack Ellis.
We should see many, many more of these on this batting pitch because it's good. Bickle has been pacey today, but just straight onto the middle of the bat, down the ground, attacking field placings. That should happen a lot more.
Well, you need a bit of luck in cricket. When you're a batsman, bowler, or wicketkeeper, fieldsman. That's through this time. It goes through his short leg. That's Langer. That was right off the meat of the bat. They should run 3. Bhutar Dipana on his first tour out here hasn't had a lot of luck. It all started, I guess, at the Adelaide Oval. It's well played. Got some width. Punts it through cover. They'll go for 4. So Mackenzie's off the mark. In good style. 3 for 86. It's gone for it. Over the top edge it goes. Kept in the hook shot. It's the second time that Kelsey's got a top edge. In the first innings he was dropped by Brett Lee off Bickle. Much the same type of shot and delivery.
He's looking to do this more often this innings. Might be worth a few more by the Australians. That's a really good bouncer. High and outside off stump. Could even be higher. But the intent is to attack by Cullis today. He was riding that up and not knowing what to do with it in the first innings.
Oh, but again, this time he gets to the ground. He's looking for 2. He won't take on Brett Lee, surely. He does. This will be interesting. He throws at the bowler's end. Safely home. Got a great arm, Lee, and he's quick across the grass. That was good running.
Oh, handy 2 from a miss hit. Almost getting this hook shot right. Good look at it. High over off stump again. Could probably be a little bit higher, and Brett Lee, besides Cullis, is safe. Ongoing bowler.
There's plenty of room there on the onside for runs. Should really be looking for 3.
Resting on Jack Cullis as the 100 comes up.
He's found the gap between the slips and the gully position. Beat Steve Waugh.
Well timed. Neil Mackenzie. It's a good delivery once again, a good length, good line. Batsman's come forward. That's only a defensive shot. He's hit it well enough to beat the Australian captain.
Well, that's a terrific save. Well, that's made up for the captain. That was really hit well. Ricky Ponting was onto it in a flash.
Yes, well, Neil Mackenzie probably thinks he got 2 bonus runs the ball before. And now he's probably feel like he's been robbed a boundary. He also took a bad bounce off that last wicket. Just hit the cut surface of that last wicket. A late decision here from Jacques Cullis to play the hook shot. Originally he thought he was going to let it go, and then at the last minute played at it. It was very late on the shot. It was a good high bouncer though from McGrath.
Langer at mid-on. Really, there should have been a single before the misfield there.
There's always going to be a misfield after I gave them a rap too, I thought. This one here should have been fielded well. Just Justin Langer's right. So the call was no. There should well have been a one there. But with a slight fumble, he got home anyway.
he plays that shot well. Probably Mackenzie and Mark Boucher are the two South Africans who really hook and pull the best. Callis frightened off there by the arm of Brett Lee.
Well, the reason that Mackenzie plays this shot as well as anyone is because he gets himself in good position and he hits the ball down. Gets himself nicely on the back foot, which he spins on. And he plays it with a nice horizontal bat. Hits it down. Look at the position he's in here. Very good balance, watching it all the way. Kept it down nicely, and Brett Lee saved a boundary.
Well, the Australians are doing exactly what you've got to do on a good pitch. They're making runs hard to come by with some good fielding. Mackenzie could easily have had 20 runs since lunch, except for some very good saves.
It's interesting to look at Andy Bickle there after he fielded that one too. He's straight up on his feet, clapping his hands, smile on his face, so he's obviously enjoying it. The G's players up.
Big shout there from Adam Gilchrist, and Warner's broken through with his first delivery. A beauty.
His first delivery from his favourite end. At a speed of less than 80 kilometres an hour. Beautifully thrown up there by Shane Warne. Mackenzie sort of came half forward, then followed it. Pitched that middle leg, followed it. Nice little edge to Adam Gilchrist. Beautiful piece of bowling. Completely deceived. Mackenzie, Shane Warne's got his second wicket. South Africa didn't need that not long after lunch. 4 for 107.
Well, Lance Klusener, this is about the worst scenario for him. He comes in on a king pair, and he's facing Shane Warne, a bowler who's troubled him a bit lately.
Oh, and he's played and missed. That's obviously going to be the strategy on that line just outside off stump, going for the edge.
Even though it's the spinners who've been knocking Lance Klusener over in recent times, it's still no fun facing Brett Lee at 140 Ks. He's got that angle across the left-hander. Just Klusener, but any of them will go in there. It's a tough assignment for anyone, even someone who's in form.
Boy, that was a good delivery. And it didn't half bounce. It didn't seem to be short at all. And he looked as if perhaps he didn't pick it up. Just let's see here.
And I'm assuming from all the action and reaction that he lost it. You couldn't be beaten for pace to that extent, where he started off to play the shot and suddenly the ball's hit him. It's a shot of a man not in touch.
He's got that away, and when he hits them, they more often than not stay hit. He uses a very heavy bat, and he got that one down a little quicker. Got it away through mid-off for 4.
Brett Lee will learn very quickly that, though he hasn't bowled a great deal against Klusener, that you don't give him anything on the drive that make him play at the pitch of the ball. Nothing up there in the slot.
Oh, and the question being asked, half-heartedly asked, I think it was probably, certainly sounded woody, didn't it? But it was probably Wood squeezing the ball, or the ball hitting the bat and then going down. It sounded like certainly two noises.
Well, it's flown off Gilchrist.
That's nicely played, but it'll be stopped. They field well. Brett Lee has bowled a long spell in warm conditions. A fine fieldsman.
Very athletic, Brett Lee. He's bowled extremely well in this match. Got Australia off to the perfect start with both the openers out. Even though he's finished bowling, his job is not done. He's got to save runs for his fellow bowlers, and that he does on a regular basis.
That's close. Big shout. Very big, maybe. He's given in. That looked fairly close. The unlucky Klusener, but it was full. The umpire would have a good look. Maybe it could have been shaping the leg stump. Have a look on the replay, but certainly was beautifully bowled.
Lance Klusener was just hanging on by the fingernails. He really is horribly out of form, just trying to survive. And the only doubt you would have there was whether it was pitched outside leg stump. Eddie Nichols had a good long look and then said, "You're on your way." Certainly was going to hit the stumps. It's 5 for 120.
Mark Boucher, the keeper batsman, got a good average of almost 30. 48 test matches. 5 for 120. South Africa under enormous pressure here by good bowling from Warne, Lee, McGrath and Dickel. Very few easy runs out there. And Klusener, who's been terribly out of form, was judged LBW. Where does it pitch? Where does it hit? Very close to the stumps, McGrath. That gives him an advantage. Pitches in line, and that would have taken middle stump. There he goes again. He's got him. That's out, surely. Yes, he's gone. A duck. Good catch. Well bowled. Good cricket. Fortunately, Mark Boucher, that's his second duck of the series. It was a beautiful delivery. Drew him forward, spun and bounced, and well taken.
It brought the drive from Boucher. He got a thick edge and well taken on the left hand there by Mark Waugh. A nod from Darryl Hare. The batsman was on his way anyhow, Mark Boucher. So Warne now has his third wicket in the innings, and South Africa in deep trouble at 6 for 121.
Sean Pollock, the skipper, comes to the crease. His team in disarray at 6 for 121. It's beautiful bowling by Warne. And he's troubled Sean Pollock in this series at Adelaide with his spin and bounce. Bat pad by Ricky Ponting in the second innings. A great catch. Oh, big shout. Very big shout. Oh, that was close. There's a couple of noises. Couldn't have been a catch because Gilchrist scored it. But that was very, very close.
Glenn McGrath is always around the mark. That one clipping the pad, clipping it high, and that must have been what worried umpire Nichols. The fact that the ball has hit the pad and then gone over the top of the stumps was probably enough to influence the umpire that it was too high. Clipping the back flap of the pad, it was close.
Certainly was. The fact that the ball did go over the stop. It's a good shot. It's beautifully played. It was just a fraction short. He's hammered that through cover. And brings up his 50.
5 boundaries now for Jacques Kallis in this 50. It's a good method that he's adopting when Shane Warne comes around the wicket. He's very quickly onto the back foot in a position to get the pads in the way the ball pitches outside leg. But the other thing that's good about it, it does give him attacking options. And we've seen those attacking options. It was pretty tight at the other end. Glenn McGrath going for the non-striker's end. But we've seen the attacking options that his method provides for him. As he whipped that one away on the onside, and Glenn McGrath realised that they were going for 3. And he would have had Jacques Kallis there with a direct hit. So Kallis's method is a good one. He gets well back. He's whacked one through the offside, and then the next one was short, and he whipped it away on the onside. So it's a good method.
That was clipped over the top. Beautifully timed. Sean Pollock. Once again, it's his first delivery of his spell. unfortunately, for Brett Lee that is, it goes for 4 again. He really has a habit. He starts to spell, Brett Lee, of finding a real loosener. This one's angling in, outside leg, and Sean Pollock picks it off.
That's the difference between a warm and loose Brett Lee and not.
Oh, it was up in the air. Ricky Ponting again went one-handed in the end. I think he might have got a hand on it. He's cut it back to 2. And we've seen Ponting and Hayden take some superb catches over the last couple of weeks. This time it goes down. This was once again a superb effort.
I feel for Buttadipana here. Sean Pollock, can he now make the most of this? Brett Lee's second ball. Pace is up by 5 Ks on the first. He's probably closer to the front crease. And Sean Pollock gets away from a Ricky Ponting in his field, I guess. A bit tough, but I thought he'd bunted it up for a minute. Someone else had a chance to get it, but it went straight through.
And that one's raced away for 4 again. Well, that time it was a full toss. Sean Pollock has shown his intentions, but he's going to be aggressive on Brett Lee, particularly if he bowls with a bit of width.
He doesn't look ready, Brett Lee, for this over. It's a spur of the moment, quick bowling change, I'd imagine. Caught him underprepared.
Gone right through. I thought for a moment that Adam Gilchrist had got across to that. I think it was an attempted Yorker from Brett Lee, but he pushed it down the leg side and it goes for 4 byes.
Let's see if this hits the footmarks, stays low, or even kicks further left. Quite possibly even flicked the pad of Jacques Callis, but just straight out of the footmarks, died and was well wide. And that's the sort of pace. Now Gilchrist is 20 metres, probably 15 to 20 metres away from that point, and he's got no chance.
He's got that one through, not quite out of the middle. Pollock, McGrath may get there, but the boundary line is too close. Now a single, a bit of hesitation, and hit the stumps, and that'll be out. That will be out. Damien Martin is the fieldsman. Well, there was hesitation. There was no hesitation from Martin, who was in quickly, picked up, took aim, and bang. Sean Pollock on his way.
One opportunity given. Australia snap it up. This may be why Jacques Callis isn't as good at picking up quick singles, because his judgment here was poor. Pollock left stranded, hair, finger in the air. Martin given one chance, takes it. South Africa on the ropes. They're gone. 7 for 157.
Claude Henderson is now out the centre of the MCG, replacing his captain. Played quite well in the first innings as a night watchman in Adelaide. Made 30 in that innings at Adelaide. Looked fairly solid.
Henderson off the mark. I know that the South African team will be disappointed with this performance, but if I was a cricket administrator, I'd be pretty worried about the fact that this is number 1 and number 2 teams playing off, and at the moment there seems to be a chasm between number 1 and number 2. Callis thumps that one. Didn't even bother to run. His partner started to run. Callis didn't even bother to look at him.
Yes, that is a very good shot. It's just finishing off that scenario about the future of cricket in South Africa. If you take Mackay Ntini, he's a bit of a freak really, because he's come into the game having not had much of a background in it.
Well, that's worth a shout. Hesitation. Steve Waugh fires. Now, if they want the run, there's one there, but they decide against it. So they really, they've got to have a bit of a chat and sort out what they are really trying to do here. Are they going to take every run, or are they going to try and have Callis face most of the deliveries.
Well, I think they've got to keep taking the run. Let's have a look at this replay. A lot of angle on it, wasn't there? And it hit him on middle. I think that's fair comment. There's the ball there. If you take a straight line from where that ball pitched and just bring the stumps into position.
Flipper, well hit by Henderson. And that'll be a boundary. 7 for 173. Henderson's decided to hit out against Shane Warne and done it reasonably successfully.
That's a beautiful throw from Andy Bickle. He's really scampered after that one, and they've settled for 2, and he's thrown it right over middle stump. Full of the joys of life, loving test match cricket.
Full pitch, drives beautifully through cover. Not quite off the meat of the bat, but it should go for 4. And it does. He's played Warne superbly. In Adelaide, in a turning pitch, and here on, where there's not a lot of turn, but plenty of bounce. In a fine innings.
This is a big lollipop, 73 Ks and thrown up. Well worth a try by Warne. Throws it up. Callis full stride, and it was right there in the slot for him to hit for 4.
That is a very good shot. Kick forward, cuts well. 7 for 191. And there almost was it, but they run a single. It could be out. Oh, that was a good effort. He's there, but he was a bit late. He's going to ask for the 3rd replay. Jack Callis, a little bit casual, and that man Gilchrist, did Dick.
This is the 3rd time Callis not that sure and not that spontaneous to take off for a single. Gets the inside edge. He's concerned where it's going. It misses the stumps. Gilchrist was on it like a seagull on a hot chip.
Very, very close. Here he comes. He's there. Well home. He had to put in the big strides. Great effort by the keeper.
Darryl Hare called to the 3rd umpire.
It's gone this time. Spoke too soon. Mark Waugh takes the catch. Driving at McGrath. Caught as easy as you like. Another wicket for McGrath. Big year, 2001.
That average of 13.5. Nosedives. Full and wide. Technique not so organised because it was a touch wide. Mark Waugh plucking cherries. Glenn McGrath gets his most productive year in Test match cricket. He now has the figures of 2 for 31. And we've got Nanty Hayward and Alan Donald only to come in for South Africa with the score on 192.
ग्लिसरीन और मलाई फॉर्मूला त्वचा को ज्यादा नर्म मुलायम बनाए
Alan Donald, the new batsman to face Glenn McGrath. That's a good shot. That's nicely timed. There's a man out deep backward square. That's Justin Langer. They'll run 3. He's up in the air. Will be caught? Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Oh dear, it was a good effort. Little leading edge there, and Donald survives.
So I'm glad he did drop it. I was getting, they call it, shirt fronted in here. Bill Laurie was up. Brett Lee moved brilliantly. That's what did fool us. His timing was excellent. Left the ground a little bit off the knee and just went too far. His movement was excellent.
You back him, he's such a good mover. Look at this, he has a red hot go, doesn't he? It's great to watch. Just slower bounce up from Ben McGrath. That will bring up the 200 for South Africa. It's up in the air. I've got to feel that might off the arm. Australians are confident.
Donald took a step towards the change rooms, but Daryl Hare was unmoved, and my first reaction was off the arm guard.
Well, there's a big no there for a second time. Alan Donald didn't seem all that convinced by what the umpire said. Well, flick of the glove and then the shoulder, or just the shoulder.
It's up in the air. It's blown down to fine leg safe. Well, Alan Donald had absolutely no idea where that one went, and he picks up a single.
Well, he certainly didn't play it very well. It wasn't a ducking ball, or not a ducking, shove your head down between your knees ball. He's gone to ground very quickly, taken his eye off the ball, just fended it away, and it wasn't an out-and-out bouncer by any means.
Shot. Cracking shot. Giving himself a bit of room there, Jacques Kallis, and hammered it through point. Knocks him over. Well, two in the channel, then the full one. It was the attempted Yorker. I've got a feeling it may well have been a full toss in the end. He thought about his downfall by the concern bowling that channel, and he knocked him over with the full one.
Well, full marks to Steve Waugh there. I think he was getting a bit cheesed off with the technique the bowlers were using. So he's given Bickle a bit of a burst, and Bickle has responded with a very good over and the breaking of the partnership, 9 for 215.
Anthony Hayward's the new batsman, trying to support Kallis to 100. Bounces in, hasn't got it quite out of the middle. He may well have got it good enough for 3, but no, he just takes the 2. Well, that surprises me. He's not even going to allow Nanty Hayward 1 delivery. Cuts, he's looking for 2, he's running hard. He's coming back, this is real trouble. He's gone, he'll be run out on 99. Well, that's an absolute tragedy for Jack Kallis. He took on the man from the deep. Damien Martin was the man, and he was always in trouble, and in the end, he was the best part of a metre short, and unfortunately for Kallis and for South Africa, he's going to end 1 short of what would have been a well-deserved 100.
He did deserve 100. He thought as he hit it that it was going wider than was the case with Damien Martin. A nice gather and throw. Gilchrist has gone half a pace to it. Not much in it in the end. I suppose you can say a metre and a bit. But brilliant fielding. Well, I'm sorry for Jacques Kallis, because if ever anyone I've watched in Test cricket has deserved 100, it's him here at the MCG today.
Well, 210 runs behind when they started their innings. It's a disappointing scorecard. Top 5 or 6 got a start. Only Jacques Kallis, 99 run out. The last man out for 99. The 75.1 overs, 219 all out. As the umpires make their way to the centre, Sean Foley, the disappointing captain, is going to go down 2-0 in the 3 Test match series. But full credit to Jacques Kallis today. He bowled a bit yesterday, he was in the field all day. He's come out today and he's batted superbly for 99, but very little support, and all the Australian bowlers did well. And for Brett Lee today was very, very good. McGrath, Warren was superb, and the fielding magnificent. Starts a very good stop. He's looking for a boundary there. Anger is off like a whippet, but it was a good save at the wide gully. So well run if he doesn't get run out. He's safely home. He had to struggle a bit. I think a direct hit would have been very, very close.
Gary Kirsten's the man, just forward of square, half volley on middle and leg. Langer again, just working it into that gap. Kirsten did well.
Get 1-0 for 2. Knows the call. Misfield, they get it now. It's Alan Donald overrunning the ball. Well, the crowd, they're very vocal, they're very happy. We've seen Shane Warne bowl well. Through the gap, they'll go for 4. So all of a sudden there's 7 runs on the board.
Now this is one shot Justin Langer hasn't played for a while. plays it 20 times in a big innings at the Wacker. But he's been hitting down the ground convincingly and through covers this summer, but he's just let it ride. There we go, and Sean Pollock's frustration once again. Start of an innings.
Goes straight to backward point. He's got him. A carried. He runs forward. So Henderson takes a very good catch. He drove square, Justin Langer. It went very, very well, and he runs forward and took a very sharp catch. So with 3 runs required for victory, Justin Langer departs.
Polly firing them up. That's where teams have been bowling to Justin Langer all summer, and that hasn't been happening. In this poor old innings where they're looking for 10, he gets dismissed. 1 for 7.
And now it's dropped. Was that a catch or was it in front? It's Kirsten. I think it may have just bounced. It was a red-hot pull shot. They run 2. It's an interesting replay. Sure, they couldn't have dropped him in. They would have had both. That was out. Only 10 runs required. There's the shot. It's in the ground. He knocked it down, did well.
He did really well because it was that fast. We couldn't quite tell whether it was a catch. That means it's flying. That's a shot Matthew Hayden played to great effect in his first innings, 130.
There's the call. And you're playing the second best side in the world of Test cricket. That's a big win.
I think this is Australia's biggest win in the last 2 years. If they had have won in India, that would have been, but this is the one that South Africa have been gearing up for a number of years. So they were supposed to be at their peak. They believed they could beat Australia. They were quoted as saying they believed they could beat Australia even. They made no bones about that, no secrets.
Straight to mid-off cruise. Hit it beautifully. He sounded that bat on the ball. He's timing the ball superbly. Good cricketer.
Well bowled by Alan Donald.
Don't Victorians like to kill? The end. They're on the edge of their seats. They're roaring with every ball. They want that winning run. The vice captain Gilchrist sitting there. They're delighted Australian side. They've thrashed them in 2 Test matches on the trot. Another one starts early January at the Sydney Cricket Ground. That could be a 3-0 if they play up to this form. Donald. And there it is. It's a nice straight drive to go for 4. A big 9-wicket victory for the Australians. Superb team, well captained. They field brilliantly. They're well balanced. They deserve to lead 2-0.
The high-class performance, almost faultless. They dropped several hard chances in the field, but that was it. Every time the fielders had to hit the stumps, they did. I can't remember them missing one important run-out chance. The batsmen dominated. They had South Africans on the back foot right from the toss. And this was a good batting pitch. The Australian bowlers are the true heroes as well to go with that man, Matthew Hayden, because South Africa had no impact with the bat on one of the best batting pitches I've seen in Test cricket.
Matthew Hayden has done a terrific job in this match, as he has done right through the year. Player of the match, and he has played wonderfully well. It's been great entertainment. It's a vibrant cricket team, this Australian one at the moment. Very well led by Steve Waugh. He made some excellent bowling changes today, handled the pressure, got it onto the South Africans and bowled them out for what was really on this pitch a moderate total. The Australians were in command all day. It's true there's no second chance in an innings like this, but that is what has happened to the South Africans. 277, the Australians 487 with Langer 85, Hayden 138, Steve Waugh 90, Sean Pollock 3 for 84, and South Africa 219 in their second innings. Jacques Kallis, if ever I was willing someone to make 100, it was here today because he thoroughly deserved it. He is a class player in a South African side that has been outplayed by the Australians. Shane Warne 3 for 68, but all the Australian bowlers did well today. McGrath, I thought, was superb, just getting a little bit of swing and discomforting the batsman all the time. Australia in the second innings, 1 for 10.